What is up, YouTube? This is Jeremy from Team Bio, and today, guys, we are going to be doing my Runick White Forest deck profile. This is the deck I took to my locals this past week and went 4-1 with it. For the most part, I had no issues with this. There's one card I wish I didn't play, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So let's hop into the deck profile. Oopsie. Starting off with the main deck, 41 cards, I believe, just because I wanted to test this 41st card. 3 Ilzet of the White Forest. This is pretty much the main starter of the deck. This and any spell gets you a lot of resources. And then I play 1 Stellar of the White Forest. I really like this card. It's usually discard fodder for Hugin, and I'll like search it mid-combo, discard it by summoning a Hugin. Or sometimes I'll even just normal summon it and a later turn anyways. It's just really good to have in the grave for when you use Diabell's effect. It'll come back and it'll help you synchro climb a little bit. 3 Sylvie, normal summon. It's really good normal summon actually. Searches for any of your White Forest spell traps. And then 2 Rusia, just draw fodder. It can also, when it comes back from the graveyard negated, you can still pay its cost to try to draw, and that'll trigger like Ilzet or a Stellar in the graveyard to special summon itself. So that's pretty good. And that is it for the monsters. I believe that's just 9. I do kind of wish I played a 3rd Rusia, to be honest, but regardless, this deck still performed really well for me. For the Runick cards, these are going in from how I played it, from best to worst. Obviously, Tip is kind of the best Runick card, being able to draw phase, activate Tip, search for a Runick card, banish the top card of your opponent's deck, see what they're playing, get some like knowledge of it. I banished a Snake Eyes Flameburst Dragon when I went first, round 1. Immediately knew what my opponent was playing. The next best one for me was actually Slumber, because obviously I want to go first in this deck so I can set up a board. Slumber is one of the few Runick cards that you can activate proactively without giving your opponent card advantage. So you just Slumber, target your Hugin, and you can banish the top 3 of their deck, and that can trigger your Fountain for you if you're in like a tight spot. Runick Destruction obviously is really good for destroying the back row. I found Freezing Curses a little more beneficial for me than Flashing Fire, because I wanted to negate like normal summon effect monsters, as opposed to only being able to destroy special summon monsters. 1 Smiting Storm. Going second, it banishes a lot of cards, but again, this is just like a one-off to search during the draw phase on my first turn to activate, and the same with Dispelling. Hardly ever use its other effect. And then obviously the 2 Runick Fountain. For non-Runick cards, I decided to play 3 Forbidden Droplet. I might have changed these to Dark Ruler No Mores looking at it, but I knew there was other Runick players and other White Forest players, so I just wanted like a way to interact with them with a card that stops them from Book of Mooning my entire field, essentially. 1 Scourge of the White Forest. I actually really like this card. This card was really nice for me. 1 Tales of the White Forest. Another really good card. Just Searcher. Sometimes it bricked on me, not being able to activate it, but it's good discard fodder for Hugin, and it forces your opponent to like, oh, does he have like the White Forest, or can he make the spellcaster to make it live? But I like playing it as one of. 1 Chicken Game, another good field spell. It's like if you draw it, it's just another card that's gonna slightly thin your deck. And this can, if your opponent is like a silly goose and they don't read the cards, play against Tempai, they'll just let it crash or let it stay and just like attack you, and you don't take damage because you're 1,000 life less than them for drawing. And then the card I wish I didn't play after all day of playing it was 1 Pot of Avarice. The amount of times I drew this was insane for being a one of, and the amount of times I resolved it was exactly once when I was already in a commanding advantage. So I would cut this. I would absolutely cut this. Trap cards, 2 Woes. I don't want to play 3 because I feel like it doesn't if you see too many of them, it just clogs your back row. I don't want to play 1 because I would like to be able to search it and set up to 2 if I need to. So I like 2. And then 3 imperm. I don't play any hand traps, as you see, so I have to have some sort of interaction, but imperm is also really good because it is a trap. If I'm going first, I can send to the graveyard as cost for like LZ to summon herself and then get a search. Then obviously the 1 of skill drain. For the extra deck, obvious things are obvious. Hugin, play 3 of them. Moonin is actually really good. If I open up a hand with too many Runick cards, or like I open up Fountain and a couple Runick cards, I will, first card I'll activate is a Runick card to summon. I'll summon Moonin, like if I'm going second, I should specify. I'll summon Moonin, and then activate Fountain for like game 2 or 3, because I know my opponent's gonna, sorry for the glare. I'll summon Moonin, and I know my opponent's gonna have Cosmic Cyclones or in the Runick Mirror, Runick Destruction to try to destroy my field spell. So this is really good for summoning it, activate Fountain, activate a Runick card, try to draw a couple cards. This will protect it from Cosmic Cyclone and whatnot. Then the final one, Jerry. Just really good for bringing stuff back. 1 Link Monster, SP Little Knight. I've actually had a situation where I had to summon her, use her effect, target herself to banish herself to get a different Runick monster out of my extra monster zone. But she's just good generically too. For the White Forest cards, obviously 1 Sylvia, 1 Roselia, and 1 Diabelle. I really wish I had the QCR. I am working on it, but these are all just really good cards. Flip your opponent's entire field face down, and give your spellcaster and illusion synchros double piercing damage and 500 attack. Search for any of your White Forest monsters or light spellcaster. Give your monsters, your White Forest synchros essentially, 500 more attack, and they can be destroyed by card effects. Add back from the graveyard, and then summon one of these guys or a different card from your extra deck or graveyard by sending a spell trap as cost, which can also trigger a Stellar. Then the final cards, I do play the 1 Zapper Shrimp. This helps me make Herald of the Arclight, because like if you're able to set up a Stellar in the graveyard and Diabelle on the field, if your opponent activates a card, you can Diabelle effect, send a spell trap to summon the Zapper Shrimp. A Stellar in the graveyard triggers to summon herself, and then you can Zapper Shrimp synchro into Herald of the Arclight, and then you have an Omni Negate. Triad Master to draw a card, Coral Dragon to draw a card, and you can discard a card, pop a card. If you discard a spell or trap, you can trigger a Stellar to come back from the grave. Chengying, really good in Runick decks. You banish a lot of cards, obviously, and he gets huge. And then 1 Chaos Angel is pretty good. Helps you play through Nib a little bit, as long as they don't have like Nib Imperm. But I didn't summon it too often. And then I will go over my side deck. It was nothing spectacular. It was actually, I'll organize it, pretty mid. 3 Bestials, Magma Hut, Druistorm, Saronir. I did want to play 3 different names because I did not want to like draw 2 Druistorm and only be able to activate 1 in the turn, or have Magma Hut in another one and have to search the same one so I can still only activate 2 in the turn. I wanted to be able to resolve as many Bestials as I could in a matchup if I had to. 2 Fulos and 1 Purilia. That's all I own for Mulch Armies. 3 Spooky Dogwood. I only cited these in once today. Most of my games were either insanely fast or pretty easy 2-0s. 3 Ash Blossom. It's pretty good generic hand trap. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Labyrinth is at our locals, and Labyrinth, I don't know what it is, I just have a very difficult time playing against Labyrinth. Maybe it's just me, but I always seem to get destroyed in the Labyrinth matchup. So that is it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Any advice, I would greatly appreciate. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will talk to you later. Peace.